Hello, today for review I've got a good small device that was relatively recently released by Hidizs. It's their lossless Bluetooth receiver or Bluetooth digital to analog converter, they call it Bluetooth amplifier, model H2. We've seen a lot of similar devices in the last few years. Shenlink, Fio and many others release such solutions, but Hidizs decided to go their own way and they offered a bit unusual approach. It's based on the Qualcomm's CSR 8675, if I remember right the number of the chip. So basically all that chip, Qualcomm chip that everyone use, and use Max as a operational amplifier, and it supports all codecs, virtually all SBC, AAC, all types of apt-X including low latency and apt-X HD, LDAC, and even they support high BU80 codec, and that makes this thing stand out from the vast majority of other receivers, so higher resolution, higher bandwidth and so on. They selected nice price, $65, and I think for such device it's a really well balanced figure. Let's proceed to the review. Few additional figures I will mention during the main text. So package is simple, it's traditional for the Hidizs, black cardboard without fancy polygraphy, but all basic stuff is listed here. Battery lifetime up to 7 hours, and it's true for the SBC and AAC codecs. With apt-X HD you'll get about 4 hours, with LDAC about 3 or even a bit less, but it's common for such receivers because with LDAC they are much more power consuming. And weight is 12 grams, size is really small, so in this aspect figures are nice. It supports NFC pairing, it supports two devices connected simultaneously. Inside of this tiny box you will get the receiver itself. I'm always afraid that I will tear this ribbon out. You can see that it's really tiny and cute looking. So it's small. I won't peel these films because I need to also to make photos, so let's let them stay here. And accessory set includes warranty card, short manual, long USB Type-C cable for charging and to connect to your PC or Mac or to desktop computer, because it can be used as a digital to analog converter, and a shorter cable if you want to use it as digital to analog converter with some smartphone or something like that. So nice thing. And a short tiny half case with clip, so if you want to clip it to your shirt, for example, you can make it easily. It clips this way and here you will get the headphones input, here USB, so all controls are available and you can reach them without issues. So let's put it off. Actually, let's peel this stuff. It's small and it's easy to wipe if I'll need it. In terms of build quality, it's nice. It's made of nice durable plastic with glass-like front and back panel. Company's logo looks really stylish, and it's simple microphone and headphones input, on-off button. It also works as a pairing button, LED indicator that shows resolution to USB-C for charging and to use it as digital to analog converter, and two buttons, so short press change volume, longer press navigate the tracks. It's small, tiny, compact, works nicely, Microphone quality is good, but it's better to move it closer to your mouse to get the better sound. Connection quality is also pretty good. It's up to 10 meters with low resolution codecs and about 3 meters with high resolution like codecs like LDAC or UAT with Z codecs. Connection quality is pretty reliable, work time is good, there is a slight delay for video and games, but it's not big, but sometimes it's noticeable. So basically that's all about the exterior, design and other related stuff. Of course, a few words about the companion app. Hidizs decided to outsource the creation of firmware and companion app to Hidizs, and you know, as a programmer myself, I think it's always a good idea to outsource some software work to companies that has expertise in that, and we got really good stable working firmware, and the companion app is Hidizs Blue. So if you launch it, you can see that model name UAT codec is used here, 96 kHz, so pretty good figures for the Bluetooth transmission. As usual, you can see the user guide, information about the device. Actually, will it show user guide? It will. No, probably they didn't add it yet. You can turn on and off indicator light, you can see the connection quality and remaining battery status. Find H2 isn't very useful feature, but if you turn it on, the LED will start blinking, maybe sometimes it will help you to find it. Equalizer, it will actually work only with 44.1 and 48 kHz, but still really good feature because you can adjust the sound, but of course we need to toggle the codec. Notification tone, you can select English and Chinese. You can power it off and you can power immediately and power after a certain time, and you can upgrade the firmware once they will release some new firmware for it. So basically it's simple but functional and sometimes pretty useful. And of course about the sound, let's have some headphones on the table, kind of spoiler for one of my next reviews. We'll talk about one of the most hyped top of the line models, and actually the most discussed feature is the output power of this tiny device, because it's just 8 milliwatts per channel for 32 ohms load, and it's really low figures from one hand. From another hand, it's a device that weighs 12 grams first, so making higher power will reduce battery life drastically. And with regular in-ear monitors, with vast majority of them, actually 8 milliwatts will be enough. For example, it can drive this unique melody Mist, or Mist, actually, not sure about the pronunciation of the name, to good volume, at least to my ears. So it's not the most powerful, but still really good. And actually, I will describe the sound based on the LDAC and UAT codecs, because you know, it's that case when you selecting inferior codecs and you hear how sound reduce quality. So basically with LDAC and UAT you will get nice punchy low frequencies with good control. Of course it's not it can't be compared to wireless connection, because still you will lose a bit of tiny nuances, but in general you will get nice resolution, you will get normal depths, not maximum, because wireless codecs reduce the depths of low frequencies, but still you will get normal sense of realism, and you will get enough of punch, of course, if you select some sensitive in-ear monitors. And as an example for the low frequencies, I've got Musica Nuda and their live album, because actually, you know, live album is more complicated comparing to studio ones, because to represent that live sound of this duo, source should be more technical and more resolving. And usually listen to such albums via Bluetooth is not a good idea. But here, thanks to the advanced codecs, you will get normal resolution. Of course, you will lose a bit of overtones on the acoustic double bass, but still you will get a nice sense of realism. And actually, it's a good trade-off for that wireless freedom, at least for me. And in general, sound quality is pretty nice anyway. So, you know, I need to make this reminders that it costs just $65, that weight is about 15 grams or even less, and that it's a wireless device because it's really good. So don't expect the performance of a big high-end DAC, but for such a small device it's really impressive, and acoustic double bass sound realistic without issues. Mids are also done in natural manner, a bit focused on the emotions, not on the micro contrast. It's not trying to be super resolving, not trying to give you all the tiniest and smallest nuances, but anyway showing maximum possible resolution for wireless sound. You know, actually, when we speak about the Bluetooth receivers, the best ones are limited basically by Bluetooth codecs, not by the schematics, not by the engineering efforts put in it. Basically, the main limiting part here is just Bluetooth codecs, and that's also true here. Difference is like some trying to highlight small details like FiOS BTR5 for example, others more focused on the emotions like H2, but the difference, you know, it's really small. And mids are natural, resolving imaginary stage is about average, plus minus, because also it's limited by the Bluetooth. But still nice sense of realism, no attempts to be nitpicking, no attempts to highlight some issues with records, so no big issues if your media library isn't perfect here. And as an example, I've got Queen, so Who Wants to Live Forever, perfect, great record, famous, good vocal, nice orchestral part, touching lyrics, so great masterpiece, one of the greatest masterpieces ever created in the history of music. And once again, of course, you need wired connection to unveil its full potential, but Hidizs H2 plays it nicely. Not perfect, because you will also lose a bit of resolution, stage, but still it's good, it's listenable, it's pleasant, and no big issues to focus on. And the slightly highlighted emotions just suit this track pretty well. And treble. Extension is average, and it's also common, and it's also a case when it's limited by the Bluetooth codecs, not by the device itself. And actually I did try the wired connection, and treble improves the extension, improves the bit resolution, so it's definitely a problem with even with best Bluetooth codecs. It's still a bit reducing treble extension. But anyway, normal resolution, good control, of course, almost zero layering, but it's common for inexpensive devices, just very basic layering, pretty normal overtone saturation, and sounding natural with good resolution, so just normal treble for this level. And so, and as an example, another masterpiece, Pink Floyd, Time. You know this track, you know that introduction with the different clocks ticking, and then that alarms, that loud sounds, going pretty high to the treble area, and this device plays it nicely. Of course, once again, not perfect, but on the good level. So to summarize everything, pretty neutral with good control and with slightly highlighted emotions on the mids, but just a tiny bit. Speaking about the pairing, so it created for the sensitive in-ear monitors and it plays nicely with them. No big sense in using it with some full-size cans, power-hungry headphones, high-impedance models. It's not created for that. Speaking about the conversions, in this price range we've got FIO BTR3K, another good model and more powerful without UAT codec support, but this one is a bit more resolving and a bit more neutral, while BTR3K is a bit warmer, so just different types of tuning and slightly bit better resolution, especially with UAT codecs. Compare it with more advanced receivers like BTR5, QDLX, Shanlink apt-4, there is not much sense because they are better with 2 times higher price. You know, it's not surprising. They are also more powerful and it's sometimes it's important. Compare it with some dongles, it also doesn't make much sense because wired connection is like a bit better. So, you know, Hidizs released a device that is uncomparable, because I don't know other models here in this price range. There is Shanlink apt-2, but I didn't test it, so basically maybe it's also a competitor for this model, so basically just BTR3K in this price range. So anyway, if you're looking for a small, lightweight, actually it's really lightweight, and sometimes it's important for some people. You just can clip it to your shirt, to your collar or somewhere there, and it's all weight, it's weight less than this jack with adapter basically, and it's surprising for me, like good example of modern technologies, because device small and sounds good and wireless like magic. So anyway, if you're looking for small lightweight Bluetooth receiver and you need to drive just average and sensitive in-ear monitors, Hidizs released a really good model worth your attention. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a nice day.